All right, what's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to another episode of the Legion of Comic Correction. We are talking about Visions, the kind of new, kind of old Star Wars show that is on Disney+.
I mean,
we're late to the game.
It's
we have
been
but
out,
it's fun.
but
Yeah, we gotta watch it.
It's not worth watching. So I mean,
Now, some of them are not as good as
they're
others.
not good. They're not good. I'm done.
You liked the first.
I'm checked out.
You liked the first and the third.
I like 1 and 3.
1 and 3 so far,
and that's it.
I was really surprised that you
That's
didn't
it.
like these next two.
No,
I was surprised.
I'm not surprised because you want to know what? I shouldn't have been. Is
Why?
my point.
Why
because
shouldn't you have
Star Wars generally cannot bat 1,000. Okay,
That's true. That's true.
They mess up more than they do right, and so
Yeah, we've talked about it
at
before.
this point
It's
we
not that
we
good.
are talking about today episodes 4 and 5.
Yeah,
And at this point-
the Village Bride and the Ninth Jedi.
Yeah, at this point we should expect that things are now going to start falling apart because they had some good ones. They can't keep that up. Star Wars keeps messing stuff up.
Well, I don't. So episode 4, I can understand.
These were the most boring episodes I have ever watched. The first one, okay,
Episode 4, I can
4.
understand. I can understand
4,
episode 4.
I
being
watched
boring
it,
to some
and
people.
20
I get
minutes
that.
later, forgot what happened in the entire episode. I completely forgot what it was about.
Right.
I had no investment in it whatsoever.
Well, we're not discussing your
was
memory.
Horrible.
We're not discussing.
I
the
have
fact
a
that you
strong
can't-
memory. I have memory. This is a steel trap.
Steel trap.
I have a
What'd you-
memory like an elephant, sir.
What'd you have for breakfast this morning?
What I didn't eat breakfast this morning, for sure.
Are you sure?
100%. I had coffee. I know.
Oh, no, you had
Fancy.
coffee. You had coffee for breakfast.
I had coffee.
That's the Breakfast of Champions.
That's what I do
Right there.
every day.
That's all
coffee.
you have for breakfast.
Every day.
Well, anyway, I can understand.
I wake up in the morning, I eat the morning, and wash it down with coffee. Thank you. Thank you.
No,
That's exactly right.
No, that's ridiculous. Well, okay, so I can understand why episode 4 might be not as
A hot pile of garbage.
crowd-pleasing. No, I wouldn't say it's a hot pile. Here's the deal. So we've talked about this before. You have less background in watching anime than I do.
Yes,
you just don't
I
usually
agree with
watch
you,
it.
but we can't keep going to this well.
No,
okay? This well is empty.
No, this is a different well.
No. Hear me out on
I'm
this. You're
drawing from a
about to
different
go
well.
down this well.
You haven't heard this well.
Go
yet.
ahead. Go ahead.
Technically, you heard it when I tried to explain it the last time, not on the podcast. But I'm going to explain it with everybody listening because I know there are people out there that get this, that will understand this. That
Okay.
because they've had experience in it.
Try to educate me.
All right, so there is not only anime but also manga are based on, or some of them anyway, not all of them. So like battle manga and battle anime, like what we see like Dragon Ball Z, Studio Trigger that you liked that the Twins episode, right? That's very high octane. Though there are some slower episodes, the Western versions usually cut those out because they know Western audiences get bored with it like really easily.
Sure.
So they cut those out. But
Wait, how dare you?
you accepted that.
I accepted it
100%.
immediately.
You were like, oh yeah, totally. We totally get bored with things really quickly.
How dare you? What do you mean? What do you mean that I was bored with these episodes?
So there's a storytelling form from Asian culture and Japanese culture in particular, Japanese comics, which has been around for a really long time. That does these things called we use them. We call them in Western cinema and Western like comics. We call them establishing shots, and usually establishing shots last for a very short amount of time, and then we get on with the action because that's what we like, right? We like to have the action. But establishing shots in Japanese storytelling can take pages and pages of no dialogue and no real action because it's setting the mood and it's setting the stage, and people are really enjoying just kind of looking at the world, right? And so that's what's happening here in The Village Bride, where I heard that. I heard those crickets.
We all heard the crickets.
I heard them. We have
Sir, the amount of time that you are taking to explain this,
It's not
fell
my fault you're
asleep
not
halfway
cultured
through,
in this.
woke back up, and you were still talking about
so
this.
the point is, here, I'll make it short. So the point is, this episode was not about the action. It was about establishing a world and a mood within a scenery. Like
Okay.
that's what it was all about.
Fine.
And they did a really good job with that.
They didn't. And here's the reason why. And here's the exact reason why. Okay?
Tell me the reason.
Let me break this down
Yeah,
for
break
you.
it down for me.
What you are talking about happens over the course of a season, a larger amount of time
No.
spent.
Doesn't have to be.
This is a one episode. You get one hit, you get one crack at this,
Yeah.
and you're done. You don't get any more.
Right.
What
Agreed.
has started happening in each of these episodes is they try to tell a larger story than can be told in 17 to 22 minutes.
Yeah, sometimes.
And it
That's
gets
true.
lost. What they talked about in the first episode. What was
Yeah,
it for?
the
Because I already
Village
forgot
Bri-
the
the
name
Village
again.
Bride.
The Village
Yeah,
Bride. They talk about all these different things that happen outside the bounds of that 17-minute episode. They talk about the Jedi's master that has ties to the planet. We're never going to see
Right.
that master. We have no idea who that master is.
That master's dead.
Completely
Yeah.
completely engaged in like, oh, there's another Jedi master. Let me find out who they are. Nope, we're not going to talk about it.
No, it was about. So this was
Well,
about.
it was pointless.
It was about the village, that planet. So the Separatists, for those of you guys who have watched, the Separatists have come in and they're trying to exploit this culture's traditions.
Sure.
And
There are plenty
ask
of
for
ways to be able to
sacrifices
show
and-
that.
well, they showed
Plenty
it,
of ways to show that.
they
And
showed
they
it through
made
a pilgrimage.
it the most boring episode
It was-
ever.
but what I'm saying is
They built up
it
built
wasn't
up
boring
an ambush
inside that.
that the sister
style.
was going to do. The sister of the princess
Yeah.
being sacrificed. They built up this ambush.
Right.
Never even got to happen.
Well, no, because
We got a different ambush. We got a guy
Yeah, she
who's
was cool.
got a giant
Oh, that thing
knight
was super
helmet
cool.
that
Yeah.
he was sniping people.
So cool.
Super cool.
Yeah.
We got no explanation for
Who
it.
cares? It's
No
it's
idea
a
who
Star
he
Wars
is.
helmet.
No idea what he's doing.
We don't have
No
explanations
idea
for
where this
any
helmet
bounty hunter
came
helmets.
from. Are you kidding me?
Bounty hunter helmets besides Boba Fett's, besides like the Mandalorian helmets.
What I'm
what about
saying
Leia's
is
helmet
that's
that she
so
wore? What about they're just
you
cool.
have one episode.
Yeah.
Tell a complete story.
They
Don't
did.
give me 3% of a story and then say 97% is never going to show up.
So all right,
That
so
was worthless.
we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one.
Literally
because-
forgot that episode. I
Right.
had literally talked to
didn't
you
connect
later
to you.
on that evening, and you were like, "Hey, what'd you think of episode 4?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"I have no idea what happened in it. I totally forgot, and I watched the whole thing."
But you see, that's totally fine that it didn't connect with you. But I still think
It's not totally fine. There's a lot of people that this didn't. I'm 100% sure didn't connect with.
Oh,
this.
I'm sure, but they weren't. But again, this was. Remember, this is a collection of Japanese animation studios who are getting to do a passion project for them. Like it's for them. They want to do it. Like it's their
No,
chance
it's
to
not.
make
It's
Star
for
Wars.
us.
Well, I mean, that's
Nobody
the hope.
does anything in entertainment
Well, they
for
got-
themselves.
they already got
They
paid for it.
should not. What are you doing? Your job is to entertain. If you do
But
not
it's for
achieve
that
that goal,
culture.
you are failing.
But it's for that culture. I would guarantee that Eastern cultures enjoyed it more than Western cultures, and this was
Maybe.
a chance for their culture to show what they wanted to show.
Maybe, but we saw
Well, that's
that
what
in
I'm saying.
other ones.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in this one, it was a joke.
Yeah.
I was bored out of my mind.
Well, I wasn't. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
Well, you liked it because you like all
I liked
the
the
painting
art,
and
and
the
I liked-
artistic
and I
and
liked the
nature
pilgrimage
and all
and-
that stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
I to this moment I could not tell you that episode. Like I could not go
I thought
through it
so
anymore
one
than what
thing,
I've already told you.
Well, okay, but so then let me say one because I know the fans want to hear a little bit about the details and what we liked about or
there
didn't like
were
about it.
no more
Well,
details.
let me give you one. So I enjoyed the couple's pilgrimage up the hill, and then them coming to like that temple at the top and seeing memories of the planet when they were up there and the connection they had, and her loyalty to the planet to be willing to sacrifice herself for her people.
Do you want to know
I thought
what
that
this
was cool.
episode was?
Yeah,
Do you know
well,
what this episode
what was it? Yeah.
This episode is like a Dragon Ball Z episode.
Yeah.
Where all they do is they're building up to the fight that you know is about to happen, and all they do is one of two things.
Yeah.
They talk to each other for 30 minutes, and you're like,
Yeah.
where's the fighting?
Well, yeah, that's because
Or
you're watching
B,
it for the battle.
They yell
yeah.
for 30 minutes.
There wasn't really any yelling in this episode.
That's why it's probably the former rather than the latter. But what I'm saying is, we got an episode where we were just waiting for something to happen, and nothing ever really did.
Yeah, I hear you. So
all right, let's talk about 5. I'm done with 4.
Yeah, we
move on.
Well, this is funny because normally, like for the most part, we've been pretty on the same page with these, right?
Yeah,
we both liked episode 1.
We are about to be off on a bunch of pages.
We didn't. Well, you haven't watched the other one, so maybe we won't be. But
I got a feeling.
This next one, I was really surprised. So the 9th Jedi, you found yourself bored in it.
I found myself really, really bored by the 9th Jedi, except for the ending.
The ending lightsaber fight was
really good. I thought the concept,
was really cool.
Was great.
So
I don't want to take away from the concept. It had me hooked in the very beginning, and then what ended up happening was all of the dialogue around what they were doing there and where the master was that had summoned them started to really drag. Then we get introduced to the lightsaber Smith.
Yeah, I love that.
It was initially kind of cool. We got to see all these different types of lightsabers that could be manipulated in different ways. Yeah, she wasn't a Jedi, so hers was colorless.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting take.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But from that point until the final battle scene, I was bored out of my mind. There was a
so surprised.
3 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
Where she is just trying to coax a robot into a ship.
You are exaggerating.
I am not. It was 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Go back on the tape. It was a
22-minute
episode.
Yeah.
3 minutes of it. She is talking to that robot
who
is on a coffee break.
He's drinking oil.
Yeah, he's on an oil break.
Yeah.
And then she has to convince him to get in his ship to fly her to the main ship that is a space station that is holding the Jedi.
That's a lightsaber upside down. It's so cool.
Yeah.
But you're
that
completely...
was 3 minutes of the episode. So 3 minutes of 22 minutes is like 10, just over, it's more than, it's like 15% of the episode was her coaxing a robot to get into a ship.
But you're completely brushing over like the 5 or so minutes or 6 minutes or so of the speeder bike chase.
I was unimpressed by the speeder bike chase.
They were going through the woods, and then she got on the ice.
I know what you're
saying. She jumped off and sliced it in half. Like, I thought that was
I know what you're
cool.
saying, but every part of these, I'm going to go back to the last episode and this episode.
Yeah.
Felt like I already knew what was going to happen and cliche.
Really, I didn't. So I actually
we had already seen things.
I didn't
like
guess.
This.
I didnn't guess though that the master was hiding in the droid body.
No,
that was cool.
Yes.
But that was the ending that you liked.
That's the ending.
Yeah.
Those last 5 to 6 minutes.
I also didn't guess.
I am totally for
that they were all Sith. That was super
love
cool.
that. I wish.
And that was a sweet fight.
Pathetic Sith.
Yeah, but remember, this one took place after all the Sith and Jedi were like.
I know that.
Gone. So these were like straggling Sith, just like it was straggling.
No,
Jedi.
they were starting to rebuild the Sith.
Right, but they were still like they weren't established.
Everybody gets a lightsaber. You're a Sith, and you're a Sith, and you're a Sith.
Yo, but that was great when they all turned them on though, and they were all red. It was like, oh, it's sick. Man.
I did.
Cool.
I liked that. But that's my point. Is the last 5 to 6 minutes were great.
Yeah, at least like the end.
Do you know what the problem was?
You didn't like the beginning or middle.
No. Do you know what the other problem was?
The Sith lost.
Yes, well, that's of course always.
What's the other problem?
But that's a larger story.
Oh, it ended with them going to seek for her father.
Number one,
they
were like, take your place as the 9th Jedi.
Right.
Sir, why is she the 9th Jedi?
So she's the 9th Jedi because he made 7 lightsabers to send out to 7 Jedi, and then he has one which is the 8th, and then she then has that one that makes her the 9th.
Right.
So, and I know he mentioned about like that. We got mentioned that they were killed by the Sith.
Yeah,
but he seemed to mention that there were other Jedi still out there.
I had the perspective
that they were going for them.
They said that he at least said that he had gotten the inclination or suspicion that when he sent out those transmissions, the people who he had reached out to, those other Jedi, were killed by the Sith and replaced by Sith.
Right, but what I think he believes.
So she's not the 9th Jedi anymore.
Well, no, but
she's like the 4th.
In his list, she was the 9th. Because I think what he thinks is.
I don't think he actually thought she was like she wasn't supposed to be.
He knew her from her birth.
Right, but she wasn't
I think
supposed
he had
to be.
always.
She was holding. those lightsabers,
Oh,
and
I
it
know.
didn't have a color.
But I think he always knew that she was strong with the Force, that she would rise up.
Either
but
way,
regardless,
there is a larger story here again,
which we'd like
and
to see.
And
we're not going to see.
I would like to. That is a story
But
I would like to see more about.
Yeah.
And we're not going to get it.
But I think you and I understand that, and I feel that pain as well. But I think we need to go, and we talked about it at the beginning. We need to go into it knowing that's what's going to happen.
No, that's ridiculous to me.
But if you don't, then you're
why
just
would
be
you
mad
tell
at
that
it.
story? No,
Well,
I get that. But
I mean,
what you're
us.
telling me to do is lower my bar. That's
well,
what you're telling me to do.
Or just understand that it's never going to be more than just one.
But why? I hear that. But then why create an episode that isn't a story in and of itself? For example,
it was the end of that chapter.
The fight.
Yeah.
The first episode was a story in and of itself.
Yeah, but
I needed no more than that.
You don't want to see him go hunt more Sith? I do.
I would like to.
Yeah.
But what you're not hearing what I'm saying.
It ended enough for
you could end that. And
it
there is
ended
no
enough for
more
you.
story necessary.
Right. It ended. It came to enough conclusion.
It came
for
to
you.
a conclusion.
Yeah.
Where every other one of these is not coming to a conclusion. It is leaving it open-ended.
It's open-ended.
For a larger story to happen that we don't actually get to hear or see.
Maybe those studios are hoping they'll get another chance to do more.
Why would they give them more? They didn't do well with these.
Well, but the studio thinks they did.
The only other thing that I'm interested in.
Like they think they did a good job.
The only other thing that I'm interested in was the Sith who turned back to being a Jedi.
Had a purple.
Who was corrupted.
He was corrupted in the moment.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool. So, all right.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is weird. This is a weird series that we're walking through. I think there's some fun aspects to it, but you're not having as much of a
I am not
as good of
having
a time as I am.
I ended up scrolling through TikTok on this last one.
Oh man,
it was boring.
I'm sorry.
It is a waste of time for me.
The next episode is called 2B1. And that was the one.
It's going to be a robot episode.
Well, listen, this was the one that I told you at the beginning that takes inspiration from Astro Boy and Mega Man.
Okay.
So I told you, I had already warned you of this one. But
you told me you thought I wouldn't like it.
Yes, I said I didn't think you'd like it, but then you said you did have some history with Astro Boy and Mega Man.
Yeah.
So I said you might like it. But the one after that, so we have two as we always do. The one after that is called The Elder. And that one you will like.
I'm sure I will like that.
I
already like the title.
Yeah,
I already like the title.
And it does have an ending.
Okay, good.
And you will I
good.
I know you'll like that
what
one.
I'm asking
so
for here is I'm not asking for too much. You get one episode. Do an episode.
Start and end.
Start and end.
I get you. Yeah, I get
what
you.
I have said repeatedly is an ending makes a movie, a TV show,
and
a
you
series.
Want it to end well.
It needs to end.
Yeah.
They are not ending these things. They're just creating an episode would be great as a part of a larger series.
That's it. Yeah, this one ended well, but it didn't end.
But it didn't end.
Right, which is what you want to see an ending.
Right, and four can go.
Four can never happen again.
Up on the river top and never come back again.
It can have the low ground.
Exactly.
Its arms
we can
and legs
send
chopped
it
off
and be out
and right into the lava.
Uh-huh.
Right, Mustafar.
What happened in that episode?
The princess one, the forest princess one.
Oh, forest princess.
Stop it. Or no, village bride. I got it wrong too.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Perfect example.
All right, we usually say it at the beginning, but we're going to say it at the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you click that bell so that you can get all the newest stuff from the Legion. And if you have anything,
if you
disagree
with either of us
or agree with us,
drop it in the comics.
Yeah, put it right down there. And click our Patreon link if you want to support.
Thanks for listening to the Legion of Comic Correction. Don't forget to check out our other episodes streaming everywhere you listen to podcasts. We're also on the major social platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search Legion of Comic Correction.
That's right. And make sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive supporter specials at patreon.com/Legion of CC. New episodes come out every week. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place, same Legion.